Alright, welcome back. Mark again with Atlas Defense. And today, as promised, I'm going to just go over really quick the disassembly and reassembly of the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield chambered in 9mm. First things first, safety. Make sure it's clear every time you pick it up. So here I can visually and physically inspect. No rod in the chamber, no magazine in the magazine well. Verify with you there. Clear, right? Alright. Clear. Alright, so first things first, when you want to disassemble this firearm, what you want to do is lock the slide to the rear with a simple push and pull motion and pushing up on the slide catch here. And just like that. Alright, and next thing, there is a sear retention pin that's inside the magazine well here. And what you want to do is take anything that's skinny and pointy and get it down in there and just insert penis joke there if applicable. But anyways, you're gonna take something sharp and pointy and get it down in there, and that pin is usually the color yellow on the newer firearms. Once you've had it for a while, you'll already be able to identify where it is. But say if you buy a used firearm, it's just going to be right below this pin here, and it's kind of like a almost an S shape. But I almost had it. There we go. And all you're going to do is just push it down. Not too much pressure until it stops. And before you take the slide off, you want to make sure that you have that pin down. And always safety with those knives. But, alright. So that's the first thing that you do after locking slides over is make sure that that sear release pin is down. And then, simple as your takedown lever here, you're just going to rotate it 90 degrees. Or there we go. And after that, you're just going to, you don't need to pull the trigger or anything like that. All you need to do is just release the slide and then let it guide it forward. Spring is not under a whole lot of tension, so it's not going to shoot off and, you know, pull a hole in somebody like, say, a spring on a M2 50 cal or a 240 would. So still, that doesn't mean that you shouldn't handle your firearm as safely as possible every time. So still, when you're taking that slide off, just guide it off and don't let it shoot off, because you still want to drop your stuff. The spring pops out real easily along with the barrel here, and those are your parts: your slide, barrel, spring, lower receiver. Now she is a little bit dirty, but that's because as soon as I bought the gun, I decided that I would want to do a little bit of torture testing, you know, worst case scenario. So I put some lower than quality ammunition through it. Didn't even try to wipe the gun off or anything like that, because I always figure, you know, in your worst case scenario, your firearm isn't always going to be 100% clean, and if I wanted to see how this was actually going to work, I was going to let it get a little bit dirty for this initial review. So you'll see a couple more of my range videos here that I'll post. And so here it is, stripped down as far as you'll ever need it. If you need to go any deeper than this, I would suggest consulting with a gunsmith or a certified armorer, because, you know, there's always so many different small parts in there. But yeah, so as with any other firearm, your lube points are going to be anywhere that you have metal on metal contact. So here within your slide, on the barrel here by the chamber, and then a couple of just of the other metal on metal parts. So that is disassembly. Now putting it back together, just in the reverse order that you took it apart. Now, getting the barrel in is not that hard into the slide there, but people, you know, this has always been a problem for some shooters, and also with a brand new firearm, you know, too. This might be a difficult thing for your first time, but the thing to remember here with the spring is to make sure that it's fully seated down, because you could, if you're not paying attention, you could just get it set right there on the edge and it's not fully seated down. So you just want to make sure that the spring is all the way down, and it'll look correct too. It'll be level with the rest of the slide. It'll look like it's supposed to be there. And then you don't have to worry about putting this lever back up. You actually need to keep it down for putting the slide back on. So keep that sear retention pin there down, and then, yeah, like I said, just opposite order that you took it apart, just put that slide right back up. There we go. And then you're just going to lock the slide to the rear. Put that takedown lever back. And then let the slide go. Make sure everything's working the way as it should be. Now, if you're wondering now about that series tension pin, it is actually reset by inserting a magazine, so you don't have to worry about trying to jam your fingers in there or something else, you know, that's skinny and pointy. Just send the slide home, put the magazine right back in, drop it out, and as you can see, that pin is back where it's supposed to be. So, as with any other firearm, you always want to make sure that cycle of operations is still in working order. So using dummy rounds, these little snap caps, I always just want to make sure that I didn't screw anything up. So, alright, magazine inserted. Round and chamber, looks like it's chambering just fine. Take it off safety, make sure that trigger pull is still good. Ejecting. Drop that magazine. And trigger reset. Alright, so that's all there is to disassembly and reassembly of the Smith & Wesson M&P Shield. Alright, you guys have a good night, and I'll see you on the range.